We're live, gentlemen. And about to start the motherfucking show. All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of the WRK podcast, where we ask the questions about the end of the day. Who really knows? As always, I'm your host, AJ, here with my good friends Dylan and Michael.
Good afternoon.
Howdy.
Finally back in the studio. Back at it again. It's the boys. They're back.
No more dumb fucking Discord.
Oh my God. It's amazing just to be able to talk to you guys and see your faces. Because we talk on Discord all the time. It's just when we do the podcast, it's weird.
And the technical difficulties, man, you got to ask, like, what did you say? Like 500 times. So it was not enjoyable at all.
Yeah. So today we're bringing you a spicy topic, something that we've edged on for quite a while. And it's going to be Bohemian Grove. But before we jump into that, make sure you follow us on Twitter at WRKPod, on Instagram at WRK Podcast. And where else can they find us? Patreon.com/WRKPod. If you need links, hit up our website, WRKPodcast.com. And I don't know. What else you guys got? You guys got any spicy things?
No, let's jump into her.
Now that I can see you guys' reaction when I say it, I just want to give a shout out to McCheese on Instagram and YouTube. He has the smallest dick in Australia, and he pays us to say it. So, you know what? I love that guy.
Pays us good money to say that.
Love that guy.
We get paid a lot of money to say that.
All right, but yeah, we're going to catch you in like 15 seconds after some groovy tunes. All right. We're back in the studio, back getting after it.
Feels good.
Just so much nicer.
Yeah.
You probably can't tell. I mean, I guess you're a YouTube watcher and you're like, where the fuck have these guys been for the last couple weeks?
Right. But, yeah, I guess. Yeah. They're probably like, who are these guys?
Yeah.
Who the fuck are these guys?
It's us. We're back, baby.
Yeah, it took a while.
Back at it again with some Bohemian Grove.
Right.
Dude, I've been looking forward to this one for a while. We started a little late, so this might be a two-parter. We'll see. I know my man's got to work early tomorrow morning. Because essential status, bruh.
Nothing will stop us from getting fucked up, though, you know?
Yeah. Certainly never has.
Yeah.
So, where do we start with Bohemian Grove? So, I think we start with that since 1880, there's been an elite group of global elites meeting in a secret Red Forest facility. Started out as a cabin, but now it's a facility. It's called the Bohemian Club. The location that they normally meet at is popularly known as Bohemian Grove. They have over 2,070 acres in the Redwood Forest, which is actually like a fucking unimaginable. Like, it's a huge amount of land.
Oh yeah, and massive.
Yeah, just
for like, I mean, I don't know how much of that land gets used. Like, what do they got? Like,
not a
fucking
lot.
Like golf courses going through there and shit. You know, like
just the compound, man.
That sounds, you know, like, I wonder how many people they have, like how many members. I can't remember if they talk about how many members they actually have.
I think it's at like 2,500 or something like that.
Yeah, probably.
That'd be wild, but like no girls.
It said there's women Women and children are allowed there, but not after dark.
Supposedly.
Yeah.
Supposedly.
I mean, yeah, you still got
we'll get into that supposedly.
Right. But
but it's just thousands of, so they have like a small amount of the land has been turned into like a retreat, leaving like thousands of acres of just woodland in Northern California is just there in between them and fucking the rest of the world.
right. Just
At
I
least
mean,
At least they're keeping the trees alive.
Yeah.
right. Yeah, not letting anyone tear down or anything like that. But I mean, you got to imagine now the secrecy side of it has to be getting harder, with any random fucking 12-year-old with a drone nowadays,
Probably.
I mean,
shit.
I didn't even really think about stuff.
How are you gonna keep it all secret? You're gonna have a kid like drive his drone, take a video, and it's just gonna be 2,500 men butt fucking each other.
Yeah, well, I saw like there was a strike for Bohemian Club workers like recently. Like I don't have it in my notes, so I don't have anything about it. But they were like the workers were going on strike.
Dang, pay us more.
I know they talk.
Pay us more. We keep your secrets.
Right.
Tom Cruise got butt fucked by George Clooney last year.
Right.
I kept my fucking mouth shut.
You gotta think they get treated like dog shit.
Probably.
I mean, that's what they said. Like that's why I know when they talked about the workers.
If I was at that level, I'd treat people that work for me like dog shit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I mean, at that point, they're peasants, You peasant.
Yeah,
they said there
ant.
was some story. I can't remember really. One worker was talking, and I could be fucking this up completely, but they were talking about how Jeb Bush got fucking pissed over a milkshake or something, or like I don't know. I could have had that story wrong, but
just fucking rockets it at someone.
I don't know.
Remember that?
Do you know who my dad and my brother are?
Whenever I think of Jeb Bush, I always think back to the Little Bush or whatever it was.
The show Little Bush.
Oh my God. And that's all
I thought you were talking about his nickname from Donald Trump. I was gonna be like, I thought it was called Low Energy Jeb,
which apparently Jeb can get a lot of energy. I don't know.
Only when it's about milkshakes.
When he's fucking in the line at McDonald's, he gets an Oreo McFlurry instead of M&M. He's just like, do you know who my fucking family is?
Do you think that it's probably maybe a better thing though that women aren't probably allowed around all those rich white men that are just going fucking ham, getting sloshed, once a year, just going at it? Like,
dude, I don't.
There's probably some like hookers buried out in the woods or something out there. Like, it's some crazy shit.
All I know is I wouldn't want to be the guy that just be like, all right, Mrs. Clinton, you have to leave now. I don't want that job.
Right. She knows.
She
knows the role.
Got a big old fucking penis than I do.
She probably goes like Mulan and then fucking dresses up like a guy,
Yeah.
She kind of looks like one, Just pull her hair back. Looks like Richard Nixon almost,
All right. So moving on. So in the year 2000, Bohemian Grove was infiltrated by Alex Jones, who videotaped everything and released it, which is a huge no-no according to the bigwigs at Bohemian Grove. But it exposed these weird things that they were doing, because before that, like no one really, like we heard about I hadn't at that point. I was in like fucking first grade, but like they would always talk about secret societies and stuff like that.
Right.
This is the first time someone actually caught on camera a secret society doing occult rituals, and it blew the fucking story. It's
right.
Just completely changed everything.
Wide open.
Yeah. It's just,
I mean,
there's no denying it after that. Like,
right.
It's like we got you on camera.
They did deny it. What was their response to it? Wasn't it like
I mean, I think they talk about that. It's really just, they say, like it's been a tradition to do this shit for so long that it's like, well, yeah, it looks weird, but we have been doing this, they've been doing this, we're trying to keep the tradition alive. And, I think one of their original thoughts for the older group was how to make sure to keep religion in the government or some shit like that.
Yeah, but it's not even like religion, and they're practicing paganism.
That's what I'm saying.
And shit.
But that's what they easily pass it off as, like, oh, it's just some Christian shit, the red hoods, the owls, the sacrificing, that's just Christian shit.
Yeah, but paganism and Christianity are two like completely different things.
Yeah, but how does it? I mean, it shows what they're doing, but I mean, what do you mean paganism? Like going to the god of the owls? Is that what you were saying?
Like, pagans. The idea of paganism is that you worship more than one god, and the idea of Christianity is that there is only one God. And if anyone denies that, we go to your country, kill your whole family, until someone in your ancestry or bloodline admits that there's only one true God.
So I guess in my idea, when he has the videotapes and stuff, like where does it show in there? Like where does it state that this is paganism over?
They make like in the speech, like they have a bunch of pagan ritual talks and stuff. Like they talk about midsummer and stuff like that. It's like very old Celtic paganist stuff.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen the movie Midsummer, the fact that these guys are talking about doing rituals about midsummer is
I heard
fucking
that. I heard that movie's crazy. I need to go and
that
watch
movie
that.
Is literally about bringing people from outside into your fucking group, killing them, or sometimes they don't even kill them. Like there's this one guy, they just like rip his body open and leave him alive, just like in suspension, like like those kink suspension things.
Yeah.
But his chest cavity is also ripped open. His like heart's still beating inside of him. They stuff him with straw and burn him alive. What do they do at Bohemian Grove? They burn effigies.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
they said that the screaming, because Alex Jones said like there was a bunch of screaming on the thing, and they were like, oh yeah, it was just video recordings. We just played over loudspeakers.
Yeah, well, I mean, the speech is definitely like a pre-recorded speech that's played over a speaker. But I don't know, man. Like, when you start like we're talking like we talked about Aleister Crowley before. We're talking Aleister Crowley level fucking ritual shit going on here.
I don't know. I feel like Aleister Crowley kind of topped it.
Well, he like wrote the book on it.
Yeah. They definitely could have been part of it back in the day.
Could have been. I mean, he was in the States for a while, so very well was.
They probably kicked him out. They're like, bro, you are like, I mean, what we're doing is fucked up, but what you're doing is way fucked up. Like,
they're just like, you want to fuck a what?
Right.
Someone?
You want to walk to the fucking desert?
You want to bang a goat?
Yeah.
What? No, it's just like there's crazy. Like supposedly they're into some fucking really weird shit at this facility. And Alex Jones is the only person that's ever really exposed it. Right. That was like his claim to fame. Like, as far as I know. I mean, I'm not like, haven't really followed his career, but
I mean, people know him, but that's definitely.
I know him from that, and the frogs are gay. So, or they're turning the frogs gay. The Clintons and the fluoride are turning the frogs gay. It's the only two things I know about Alex Jones. He broke the story on the fucking Clintons and the fluoride turning the frogs gay, and he broke Bohemian Grove.
I just
both
think
true.
How I mean,
fluoride turns frogs gay.
No, I don't know.
It probably does.
But there is like there was a study that's like there was like chemical in our water that was making frogs not transgender, but they were making them like asexual. Yeah,
really. Huh.
So I think what I'm just kind of curious about is, he like breaks the story open. They talk about pagan rituals, like they're talking about that. I mean, I know people are on it, like Alex Jones is on it, but like there's also, I feel like so many people like how could they even defend it? You know what I mean? Like,
well, they own the media. They can just spin whatever they want,
and like I'm talking about like other like reporters that are talking about it, other articles. Like, yeah, I get that they own the media, but I mean, when you talk about something like that, that's an unchristian, that's like happening in our, I mean, you would think a lot of things would get exposed. I'm just like,
how is it not bigger?
How is it not bigger? Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
I don't know. Like Michael said, just because they can cover it up. They have the.
They do that for everything.
Back then too. That's when the internet was just really starting out. So it, it didn't really have the reach as it does now.
Right. Maybe these workers, if they're going on strike, maybe that'll light a whole new fire under their ass. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, I fucking hope so. If we don't get like some nasty ass bohemian secrets out of this, I don't know what the point of living anymore is.
And you know what? What would even be great too is I think the fact that I don't care if one of those workers lies about something. Like, yeah, that's kind of fucked up. But I mean,
make it a fun lie.
Make it a fun lie. But then guess it catches on, and talk about George Clooney fucking Samuel Jackson in the ass, because Samuel Jackson has to be there. Like he doesn't even know what's going on. He just gets invited to every party. He's like, who are all these motherfuckers right here?
I don't know if I'd be the one to fucking break the story though, because you're gonna get fucking 2 shots in the back of the head.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure.
So I
don't know. What about Alex Jones though? He broke the story.
Yeah, I don't know.
And that was like literally that was about as bad as you can get. But like, maybe it was famous enough.
Apparently, he was like, he was invited to be there to be like, oh, nothing weird is happening. Because the guy who wrote Men That Stare at Goats got the inspiration to write the story about men who stare at goats, which is super powerful people having these far-fetched, ludicrous ideas. He got that. He was the other reporter that was invited. Like 2 independent reporters were invited. I think his name was like, oh fuck, what was his name? John Potnick or John something. But yeah, he literally wrote The Men Who Stare at Goats based on what he witnessed at Bohemian Grove.
Really?
Yeah.
Because Men Who Stare at Goats was dope. And when he walked through that wall at the end, man, I was very excited.
I was impressed.
I was very impressed. I was like, holy shit.
It's also where he met George Clooney, which is how he got him in the movie. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
How fucking amazing would that be if that was a fact?
It probably is.
Dude, that would be fucking awesome. So the number one rule at Bohemian Grove, so this contradicts like what the main like public theory about this whole communion of powerful bankers and politicians is that they go there to work on deals and stuff like that. The number one rule in their rule book or guide or whatever is weeding spiders come not here, which is apparently means that they're there to make no real life business deals while at camp.
Well, yeah, that was a very...
Yeah, I mean, like that's some Aleister Crowley shit, bro. That's
very Aleister Crowley shit. 100% Aleister Crowley shit.
It's like you're like a new member, like you're like working at Citibank. You finally got promoted like VP, and they're like, "Yeah, come to this summer camp where we go to. We all like we get naked and run around in the redwoods." And then you're like, "I don't know about it." You're like, "That's where they shot Star Wars." And you're like, "I'm in." And then you get there, and they're like, yeah, weaving spiders come out here. You're just like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, I was born in 2000.
You like imagine being the guy who like shows up, like talking about business and shit like that, and everyone like, just did you not get the fucking memo? Like
you're there talking about business. Everyone's looking at you like you're the weird one. When everyone's dressed up like a fucking druid,
fucking goat masks and shit,
like the fucking thing from the movie The Village. You know the predator in the woods that if you stray from the village, it'll kill you.
Yep.
And it's just like a giant hedgehog looking thing with a red cloak on.
I was thinking they were more dressed up like the Thumb from Spy Kids.
Well, basically they are, but they have a hood over their head.
Right. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's like a weird like. I mean, it sounds like, I mean, nowadays, does it sound fun? No, but I mean, you think about back, I remember reading it started in like
1880.
It was 1878, and it was because a fucking, like a famous actor or whatever was like, bros, I'm about to leave. Like, I'm going to like fucking New York. Like, let's fucking go party in the woods and get lit up. And that sounds awesome. That sounds fun as fuck. Like, it kind of changed and turned into some weird shit.
Yeah.
I don't really know. Like, that's where I'm curious. Like, when did it turn into this fucking point of, having fun, like it was just a send-off party. That's all that's from what it even says, just even on Wikipedia. It's just like, this was just a fun little party in the woods. And said they did it a couple other times where they just went to other campsites and just fucking got fucked up and had a great time. And I'm like, man, that sounds awesome as hell. And then like 3 years down the road, they show up. Like one of the guys shows up, and everyone's just like wearing red cloaks and like fucking stringing like bloody corpses up, and they're just like, "Whoa,
this is not what we did last year."
I want to go home.
Things have really
Who's the new guy,
right? Jesus Christ! He's like bringing a friend. He's like, "Bro, trust me, you're gonna love it. We have so much fun." They're like walking it. I don't know. He just shows up. Everyone's just fucking like in red cloaks, like preaching fucking pagan verses. I don't know. I don't know what goes on there, man.
Could you imagine showing up just like the highest you've ever been in your life to that ritual for the first time? Like it doesn't hold the weight because we've seen it on video and we're going to watch it at some point during the show. It's probably too early to do that. But could you imagine just because I've been to that level of being high where I'm just like, if something weird happens, I'm going to lose. Like, I'm not going to be the same person after it. Could you imagine being that high and someone be like, yeah, I got something to show you. And there's like fucking a bunch of dudes burning fake bodies underneath an owl statue, like a 40-foot owl statue in the fucking, quote unquote, fake body. I even have that in my notes. It's just like every time I talk about the effigy, it's like quote unquote effigy. But like, and then you're just like, that would fuck me up for life.
I think I already, when I'm high around crowds of people I don't really know, it's awful. I have terrible anxiety about it. I'm like, dude, like, I don't care that I'm around them. I don't mind it. But I know as soon as I try and talk, I'm really going to fuck up. And then it just kind of scares me more from that thought. That's when I hate the crowds and I'm like uncomfortable. Being around that, I don't know how some of these fucking guys like don't just get too weirded out. Like that just feels like going to church. I'm like, who the fuck wants to go to? I mean, for anyone who goes to church, but for me, I would go to church with my ex, and I hated it. That was awful. I had the worst anxiety ever being fucking in this room, and I wasn't even high. Just being in a room with all these people. I don't know,
dude. Just like imagine
that was too much.
Even just imagine like meeting these people and like you're a nobody and your somewhat famous friend brings you. He's like, yeah, I got invited to this thing. I got a +1. Come check it out.
Right.
We'll fucking smoke a joint on our way in there. And he's like, yeah, this guy, his name's Chase. He's the CEO of Citibank. And you're just like, oh fuck, he's gonna know I'm high. I want to buy a house next year. Like,
right. That's when you just got to straight up and be like, I'm high. Yeah, I'm fucking baked. I think that's my go-to whenever I'm in an awkward situation is I'm fucking stoned, dude. Just forget everything I say.
Lonely right now, bub.
I don't know.
But so like if these guys aren't there to discuss like, because that's what everyone says. They're like, oh, they're there to discuss business. That goes against number one rule of their doctrine.
I mean, which you can still get connections.
Things you know about cults is they follow their doctrine very, very meticulously.
I think they still get connections. I think they said they still talk about them gaining wealth or like how they've gained wealth and other shit. But yeah, like no doing like business deals. Yeah. So I mean, they could still, like you said, you could still, talk to everyone and see if you guys have common interests, but no making deals while you're out there.
So what other purpose do they have of businessmen and congressmen and world financiers? What other reason do they have to dress like druids at this facility and perform quote unquote mock human sacrifices?
Right.
Blackmail.
Wouldn't you think that part of the party would have died out,
Yeah.
over like fucking 140 years?
They're still doing it.
They're
still doing it.
Like I get the party, but the fact that you have to go to this fucking I don't know how long it lasts for. It's kind of sounded like it lasted like somewhere around like a week.
Yeah, it's a 1 week thing. They do like guest speakers.
They have like Steve Jobs there.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I got the list of some of their most interesting and distinguished guests that they've had speak.
On you, if you look at the what was kind of cool, I wasn't even gonna go to Wikipedia, but I was like, fuck it, I always stop in for a little bit. But on their main picture on the front of it, it's fucking God, who is it? Ronald Reagan, Richard Nixon, fucking sitting one person apart, and I'm just like, bro.
Yeah, there's
That's
a picture
insane.
of George W. Bush and Barack Obama at Bohemian Grove together.
Mhm.
Just like, you guys aren't supposed to be like homies. What?
Right, exactly. You know, I mean, you are not supposed to.
Could you imagine if that picture would have came out when Obama was running for president? When he's like,
Right.
this guy's a piece of shit, didn't do a good job.
Right.
And then they're just like sitting there drinking fucking wine at a, you know, what the fuck is it called? A spirit cooking? Like,
Damn Catalina wine mixer.
the goddamn Catalina wine mixer.
Yeah.
But could you imagine that if that would have came out when he was like on the campaign trail?
What do you think right now that, you know, fucking Joe Biden and Trump probably have a picture somewhere
Fuck.
of them like kissing, probably.
Well, that was the weirdest thing about
They're
Trump.
probably holding hands and hugging and shit, you know, all that weird
Both
stuff.
kissing Trump's daughter.
That was the weirdest thing about like the Trump Hillary campaign, about how they talked about how much they fucking hated each other. Is Trump was at Chelsea Clinton's wedding, and Hillary and Bill were at his and Melania's wedding.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and then you guys are gonna be like, this person's a piece of trash. It's like, dude, it's WWE, bro.
Right, right.
What do you
Oh, yeah.
mean?
How are you? Yeah, how the fuck do you get invited to someone's wedding? Like, that's just
It's like after WrestleMania when you run into John Cena and The Undertaker at Buffalo Wild Wings when they did a 30-minute match. It's fucking stupid.
it's like a kid who's like 6 years old walks up and just sees it and just fucking starts crying, like loses his mind. Like,
Damn.
That's actually happened before
Your
with
whole
them
world's
too. Like,
fucking shattered.
there have been
dude.
people that lost their jobs in the WWE because of that shit.
why? Because of like being
'Cause-
friends with
Yeah,
each
because
other in
they're
public.
friends with each other in public when they're supposed to be enemies on stage, and they get caught out in public with each other.
Which is weird. It doesn't happen
Would you
like
wear-
that in the in the presidential elections, but in WWE, it's at least WWE's doing everything right, man. They're taking the shit seriously, okay? At least they take their shit serious.
Yeah, they had a
Fucking-
wrestler that took Adderall, and they're like, "You can't hold this position right now. Like, you're
Yeah.
gone."
See, I just want to see somebody come in and shave Donald Trump's hair.
Oh yeah, dude. I was hoping that would have
Vince McMahon style.
Yeah, that's what happened. That was their fucking WrestleMania match like fucking 10 years ago.
Dude.
It was like if Donald Trump won, he got to shave Vince McMahon's head. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, they do it. They do it right.
That's
you know?
what we need. Put Donald Trump and Joe Biden in a square circle.
A
That's
square
how- that's-
circle.
Yeah, that's what they call the wrestling ring. That's how we find out what the next president is.
I think Joe's too fucking old. I think Trump has it.
Just be like, why are we here again?
I
Just like they play his theme song and he's just like standing out there. They're like, walk to the stage. He's like, there's a stage.
mean, I feel like you get to that
Where's the
age, if you
podium?
don't got meat on your body or any fat or anything for energy, you're just fucking a walking piece of dust. You know, you could blow on Joe Biden. Like, any of those girls could have fucking just walked away, and Joe's hands that were on her face would have just snapped off and came with her. You know.
Beetlejuice style.
I watched off topic, but I watched Joe Biden, like a montage of him around people's daughters, and the amount of times that he like wraps his fucking hands and just starts fucking stroking their faces, it's like he doesn't even know he's doing it. He doesn't even know he's doing it.
He's got
just,
naughty hands, bro.
He's got naughty hands, and he just I mean, at least he's not such a bad guy, because he's always checking the girls' foreheads for lice and shit. That's why he gets so close to their forehead, you know. But I assume that's why he's getting so close to their
He
forehead.
just sniffs their head. He's like, oh, you still use the baby shampoo. Tear free.
Yeah,
Damn, that stuff feels good.
Joe, there's apparently there's stories of the Secret Service or whoever was fucking watching and guarding him when there'd be like female agents or whatever, where he'd be just walking around naked, going swimming naked, and they'd be out there, and he'd just, you know, be like, "Hey, look what I can do!" You know, just
I'm
rip
pretty
his
sure that they
pants off.
just have like straight up like just private security there. Like, they've had presidents there, but I don't know if the Secret Service comes in.
Maybe, but like, so I don't know.
They probably
somewhere-
do like perimeter guardian, but I'm pretty sure most of it's just private security.
But I think this could have been, I don't know if this is when this was or if this was a while back, but like not like, wow. I don't know. I don't really know when. It just said there's so many complaints about guys who are like, when you get Joe around your wife, you got to watch out, you know. You got to keep your eyes on Joe, because he is the amount of times that in this video montage that Joe would tell kids.
You're talking about I thought we were still talking about Bohemian there.
Oh, no. I'm talking, yeah, sorry. I just can't get off of it. It's just too hard, man. The amount of times he told these young girls, hey, no dates until you're 30 or something, you know? Like, it's just so creepy. All right, back to Bohemian. Joe's just too easy to talk shit about. I'm sorry.
So in 2002, Alex Jones, he confronted a congressman who was as he described, a proud member of the Bohemian Club by asking him what he meant in a statement that he did with the Washington Post. A Washington Post interviewer, he said, at least I don't run around naked. What? That was his quote in the Washington Post.
Wait, whose quote?
Sorry, I was moving my mic. I can't remember the congressman's name off the top of my head.
What was the whole like?
But Alex Jones is like, now what do you mean when you said that at least you don't run around naked?
Wait, I was moving my mic. He's talking about
to a congressman that was a proud member of the Bohemian Club.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And the quote that in question was, at least I don't run around naked. I don't believe it.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, and then Alex Jones in the interview was like, well, I'm Alex Jones. In 2000, I released a video of your guys' ritual. And he's like, well, I hate you for that. And he just like the whole demeanor of the interview just drops. He's like, I hate you for that. I don't respect you for that. Like all kinds of weird shit. It was. I love it.
Yeah, well, you'd think you would try and just really be like, we're just out there doing some fun shit. We're all drunk, we're just having a good time,
Let's go back to his Minnesota accent.
Yeah. Hey, man, I don't know, dude. That's you got to play it off somehow. Like we said before, how is that not just a bigger deal? Like you talk about like the number one thing I think that America should get offended by or could get offended by is trying to strip Christianity from the country because that's what they fucking founded it on, apparently. Like that should be like as soon as you start saying that, like, I mean, people are allowed to stand outside with signs that say God hates fags. Like they can do that because other people are like, well, God, God does hate fags, like it should be one of those things that just blows the fuck up.
Well, I remember I used to get my haircut at like a sports themed barbershop right next to the Planned Parenthood. And there was every single time I went for a haircut, there was some chick whose husband worked at John Deere, so she didn't have to have a job. And she would just sit there all day with a sign that says, God hates you outside the abortion clinic. Or not even the abortion clinic, it's Planned Parenthood in a strip mall. The idea that they did abortions there is fucking insane. Because
wait, what did they really do? Are you talking about next to Sports Clips?
Gave you the abortion pill.
Wow. I went to Sports Clips a few times. Yeah.
And every time and it's like in one of those like your mom takes to your soccer game chairs.
Right.
And she just has a sign that says God hates you. Just like, bitch, I'm getting a haircut. My stepdad, not my stepdad, but I was like, it's for the store next door. I was like, Planned Parenthood, what? They're planning to be parents. What are you talking about?
What are they doing?
So young, I had no fucking idea. But I was like, why the fuck is this bitch doing this?
Yeah, my ass did not pay attention to any of that shit for the longest time. I was like, people are gonna do it. I didn't know that was right there though. That's actually very insane. I mean, you have the right to sit outside of a store with the sign, I think, Yeah,
people do it outside AV.
Right.
Says I got laid off, give me money.
Dang.
Dude, yeah. People are out there asking for money all the time. Will I ever give them money? Fuck no. Sorry.
Well, I roll down my window, be like, hey, Walmart's still hiring. And roll back up my window. Maybe.
I used to feel bad sometimes, but I remember when I worked at one of the pizza joints that I worked at, we had a homeless guy that was always, homeless, we don't know, but he was always on the corner all the fucking time. We offered him a job like 3 different times. And he was like, no. Like, we were like, dude, we will let you come and work. Like, we need some help, like come and work for us, just make a little bit of extra money. And he's like, no, I don't want to do that. Never came in.
No, I don't want to put pepperonis and cheese on pizza.
I love doing that. And you get to eat for free.
Yeah.
You get to, the 2 pepperonis for the pizza, 1 for me. That's how you make. That's that's literally in the video of how to make a pepperoni pizza.
By the end of the day, you've eaten 46 pepperonis and you're fucking stuffed, bro.
Yeah, think of all that protein. Yeah,
Think of all that grease.
Making all them belly gains, bro.
right. You don't even have to eat it. You just shove them in your pocket. So when you went home to all your homeless posse, you could just pull out a bunch of fucking pepperonis for everyone. You know,
Be looking like Ricky off Trailer
but
Park
he didn't.
Boys.
He didn't want it. He didn't want it. He didn't need it. He thought he was. You know, he was probably obviously making more money just standing there. You know, it's like when you're trying to hit on women. You know, you get rejected like 99% of the time, but in that hour, you know, when the last percent gives you the $5 or $10, just made bank. Some days you'll have a really good day. You know what I mean?
Anyway.
I can't imagine how much money some of those people make. I'm sorry, but I think that they don't make money, but they probably make bank. Just saying.
So the only exception to the weaving spiders come not here rule that's on the records was in 1942, where Dr. Edward Teller reserved the Bohemian Grove. It wasn't during the camp. It was in September. He reserved the Bohemian Grove lodgings to discuss the creation of the atomic bomb or the hydrogen bomb.
Mm-hmm.
And he would later be made famous for the Manhattan Project and the creation of the hydrogen bomb. So the hydrogen bomb was created at Bohemian Grove.
Ooh. How can we kill a lot of people?
Which, I mean, was it? I mean, was that? I mean, it was created, but how did they? Like, was it a business deal? I mean, was it? They said it was the one exception, the one time. It was like the one. They're like, oh shit, we're talking about a big ass bomb. Of course, we could talk about this. I bet there was people like throwing money at him, like, I'll pitch in like 50 grand. I want to see this bitch go off. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it makes perfect sense.
But yeah, that's the one known exception that they claim. I guess I don't.
Which that's a pretty serious shit.
That's a pretty serious exception.
That's a pretty serious shit. Like you think the exception would be like, oh, yo, I'll pay you $10 to go jump off that cliff, you know, into the water or something, you know? Like,
or the exception is like when they made the Tesla or something, like something that was good for people.
Right.
No, the exception was the atomic bomb.
Yeah. It's all right.
Oh my boys.
What?
It's all right.
I don't know, man. It's just one of those. Oh my God.
Which is weird, you know? Like, what are you like? I mean, was it already being created, do we think, or was it already done? They just needed
I think
more
that's where they came up with the idea.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like a lot of really good ideas, because I mean, for them, the world was almost like the idea is you have enough money to do whatever you want. You didn't do business deals there, but yeah, you sure talked about some crazy shit. Man, I dropped 50 grand on a bomb. I'd love to see that shit go off, see what that could do. You know?
Let's check it out. Yeah. Let's check it out in Fukushima.
Yeah, like, let's go. Right. It's like, well, where are we going to drop it? Woof, not here, dumbass.
We're going to drop it on a John Wayne set, bro.
Let's like go, let's bring it to another country. Yeah, like this. We obviously can't do it here. Let's just start a fake war real quick so we can go drop it on.
Yeah, they dropped them in Nevada
like 3 of
first. Them. Yeah, in Nevada. And they built a movie set not far away from there.
Oh, I remember that.
That's like, it was one of John Wayne's last films. Is like every single person on the set died of cancer.
Yep.
Like early, like not like I'm 82 and I have thyroid cancer. It was like I'm 52 and I have stomach lining cancer, or I'm 36 and I have eye cancer. I don't know.
And then like,
I don't know if eye cancer is a thing. Probably called like retinal cancer.
Probably.
Shortly after that, that's where The Hills Have Eyes was shot as well.
Yeah. The original, not the remake.
Yeah.
The radiation had worn off by then.
The original footage, yes, was shot there.
The 1980s version of The Hills Have Eyes.
I mean, they say that's
the one that doesn't have like a 14-minute rape scene in it, where one of them's holding a baby and the other one's raping a girl.
Yeah.
That's a weird movie. Thanks a lot. Dr. Edward Teller.
You know what though?
You
As a kid, it fucked me up, and I was like, man, nothing else has fucked my life up more than that movie. I've always been a huge supporter. I'm like, dude, that shit is. You want to watch something and just be like, man, that was fucked up.
Hills Have Eyes.
Oh man,
Hills Have Eyes too.
I never
I've
watched
never
it.
seen that one.
It was okay. It was actually not so bad.
I've never made it all the way through the first one.
Oh, the first one was dope though. That one, it's kind of based off of a true story, right? Like, isn't it that people with radiation were kind of living out there or something?
It was.
Yeah, that's right. It wasn't a true story.
It wasn't radiation. It was so inbred.
Right.
They inbred themselves so much, and there was like
that wasn't
15 of them or whatever.
And it wasn't really always proven. I don't know, but yeah, fun story. I don't think it was like proven true or something. Like people made it out to be this way bigger, worse story. But
no, yeah, they were like killing and eating people in Scotland and shit like that or something.
That's what I just can't remember if they said it was like it. There was conspiracy to that, or if it was actually. We will. It would be more fun to do an episode on that though if they were actually like mutated and like fucking fucking shit up. Like that'd be a great podcast.
Like all of them running around the fucking hills in Nevada looking like Quasimodo and shit. Hunchback in Notre Dame.
Yeah, right. Insane.
All right. So since 1880, the camp has been kicked off with a ceremony called the cremation of care. That's what they call their quote unquote mock sacrifice with the quote unquote effigy.
Right.
What? Who came up with the name care when they're doing a fake or not fake human sacrifice? I don't know. It's just like
it's supposed to make you carefree.
You better be very careful, or else if this shit gets out, we're going to be in a lot of trouble.
I've got it prepped up. And for those of you that are audio listeners, you'll be able to hear it but not see it. Video listeners might be able to see it. It's terrible quality.
Yeah.
Because it was shot on Alex Jones's fucking Motorola Razr.
Right.
Oh, no. Is it really instant? Oh, okay, here we go. Those are the druids.
Yeah. Cloaked people with torches enter. Stage left, holding torches. Very intense music playing.
Infowars.com. There's like 30 dudes in cloaks. Are those the quote-unquote fake bodies next to It's intense.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, if I ate like half an eighth of mushrooms and watch this in person,
oh, yeah. That'd be freaking out.
I'd be shitting myself. I'd be like, am I next? There's the mallard. That's him like trying to cover up the camera. Like, I can't let George Soros know what I'm filming.
beyond those airs, and all the winds that carry with thy dust. Hail, fellowship's eternal flame. Once again, midsummer sets us free.
Yeah, midsummer sets us free.
Yeah.
That's not cool if you know what that means.
There you see the funeral pyre burning with the effigy of a human, or it could be real, ladies and gentlemen. There's been a lot of strange going on in that area of Northern California. This is what the establishment is into right here in America.
There's what the establishment is into. Interdimensional child molesters. But he nailed it. That's why
So
that's
you
his
said
claim to fame.
did he get invited to witness that? You said he was protecting the camera, so it didn't look like he was filming, but
Yeah, he was not allowed to film anything.
he was invited to the performance.
Apparently, he was invited. I don't know. That's what the dude who wrote The Men That Stares at Goats claims, is that he brought him with.
Right.
But I don't know, man.
Okay.
Can you explain? So Midsommar, I don't know if it's Midsummer or whatever.
Midsummer, yeah.
But it was that movie that actually came out not that long ago. What did Midsommar? You said it was a pagan thing, like it's I don't know. Does that mean, is it like a ritual? Is it, or is that? Yeah, no idea. Did not watch the movie, but it seems fucking crazy. The movie seems fucking insane.
The movie's fucking nuts. Okay, so let's just look up Midsummer Wikipedia, not the film.
You probably have to type in. Yeah.
Well, that just brings up more shit about the film. What the fuck? Okay, apparently all you can find on the internet right now about Midsummer is about the film. But the film is about bringing people to a cultish place, and then they sacrifice them. Like, they torture them, sometimes keep them alive, sometimes kill them, stuff their bodies with straw, and then sacrifice them. And this is what the fucking elites of the world are practicing in California, is mock midsummer rituals.
How's it gonna set them free? Just free from what?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I don't know. I think those voices sounded, though, when we did hear the screams, sounded like it was part of the audio, right? The recorded audio or whatever.
That's what I'm
like. Yeah. I mean, I couldn't
watching
imagine
the whole thing. It sounds a lot more like.
I know there's got to be a lot of
it's like
fucked up shit, but I feel like they, you know, like if you really were, I feel like there'd be someone out there who would be like, bro, listen, I know you guys really like killing people. Like, that's cool, but I'm not really comfortable with it. You know, me and the guys were talking, you know, maybe we should just like record when we kill someone, and then next time we'll just reuse that recording, you know? And then they were like, yeah, I guess I don't see why not, you know?
So the ceremony of care starts with a parade of men in red robes carrying a coffin with a quote unquote skeleton named Care in the coffin, some carrying torches, and they parade around the camp until they make a path to a giant stone structure in the shape of Moloch the owl god, where they extinguish their torches on the effigy, quote unquote effigy, and chant, "Shake off your sorrows with the city's dust and scatter the winds, the cares of life."
Very weird.
Very culty, very Aleister Crowley.
I think it's what like I said earlier, I think it's culty, but like what's worse than that is like it like you said, it goes so much against the Christian religion that it's like, how did they not just like?
Well, it's not only that, it's like Aleister Crowley was a fucking weirdo, but he wasn't the governor of Minnesota. He wasn't the fucking senator of Arkansas.
Right.
That's the people that Aleister Crowley was a weirdo. And he didn't hide the fact that he was a fucking weirdo.
Right.
These people are like, no, I'm a normal person. I'm a senator. And then they go and fucking do this shit and chant that shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you look at how they say this country is built on, it's like, oh, we have Christianity throughout our, country, but it's like, do you really? Like, I mean, is that, if they don't believe that, then aren't they just using that to exploit you? Just saying.
So yeah, earlier we were talking about how every day during the retreat, there's a scheduled lakeside talk. And over the years, they've been hosted by people like Dwight Ike D. Eisenhower, Richard Nixon. And there's an interview. When I saw his name pop up, I don't think about this, but it popped it up in my head. So there's an interview that I heard. It was back when I was working construction and just listening to interviews instead of music.
Right.
Just to like learn instead of just be like listening to the same song over and over again all day, every day. And there was a former sex slave and child human trafficking victim named Fiona Barnett. And I went back and re-listened to her interview to make sure I got all the facts right. She claimed that she was sexually abused by Richard Nixon in a CIA plane in Australia, like right after Watergate, before he resigned. And he enjoyed her company so much that he recommended her to the Bohemian Club. And she's like gone on record saying all this. She's made a documentary about it. And she said that she was later sent to the summer camp in Bohemian Grove, where she claims that she witnessed the rape of children and children being hunted in the woods.
I mean, why else would you? Yeah, I mean, you have all that land. Like we said, if you don't have golf courses, just like that's what old white people want to do, is they just want to go golf. But
people are the most dangerous game,
Yeah. But she's literally like made a documentary, went on the record saying she will face any accuser that questions her statements.
That'd be insane. I think it'd be really cool to see the old Hunger Games style, like one of those kids builds like a makeshift spear, and one of these old fat guys is like, "I found you," and just out of nowhere, just fucking stabs him through his throat. I don't know. Some weird shit. Weird, cool shit. I can only hope. You know what I mean? Because thinking about them just being defenseless, man, that feels awful.
But like, she also like, what was his name? Supreme Justice, the last one that just died. God, I can't remember his name. But she said that his ranch was also used for like children hunting and shit like that. The one that he was found dead in. And then they didn't do an autopsy on him or anything, and just like all kinds of weird shit.
I can't remember.
I can't remember his name either.
I mean, I think it's crazy when we look at like what cartoons and shows do for fun, and you always think like, man, some of that shit usually ends up being true a little bit and happening. How many times do they make shows where they're, where humans are being hunted?
Dude, The Simpsons I've been watching The Simpsons a lot. The Simpsons did one where if you're the last one alive from Mr. Burns shooting you with a trank gun, then you win a vacation.
That's insane. Another one of their keynote speakers was Wernher von Braun, who we talk about from time to time on this show, who was the Nazi scientist in World War II, who was behind the V-2 rocket, who would hang the slowest working Jew outside of his factory every week to increase the work performance of the other Jews. But he put Americans on the moon, so we forgive him.
I just think people didn't even know about it,
Yeah, just
even back then, like that's what they talk about even in the show. I don't want to give it all away, but even in Hunters, like they talk about that. They're like, they're trying to break the story because no one fucking knows.
No one fucking talks about it.
This is fucking like 30, 40 years after it happened, and they're just like finding out about all this shit, bringing Nazis to America. Like no one knew about it.
Yeah, like the documentary about Igor the Terrible that was just like a Netflix special last year, like The Devil Next Door, I think is what it was called. It's about like a guy that would literally take a fucking old-timey broadsword and mutilate Jews before they went to the gas chamber. Lived in fucking Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah.
For, I think, 25 years before they found out that he was Igor the Terrible.
Right. Jeez. Yeah, they did a lot of on that show. They had there was some of the stuff that was kind of made fiction of what they would do to Jews, but man, would I believe I wouldn't believe everything happened, but would I not believe that things happened equally just as bad, you know?
I would believe anything before I disbelieved it.
Even worse than what they even said. I feel like it could have been way worse, but
I would totally believe anything before I disbelieve something that if someone was like, yeah, and they did this to them at concentration camps, I'd be like, oh, fuck, really? I wouldn't be like, no, they didn't. I'd be like, oh,
Right.
yeah. I mean, they burnt him in chemicals in a shower. Like, it's about the worst fucking thing you can do to someone.
Dude, oh my god. And then like they and it was weird because they'd make him go in there and fucking like they'd actually let him take a fucking hot ass shower beforehand because it would open up the pores in their body and shit like that. So then they'd be fucking taking this hot ass fucking shower and all of a sudden the shower would stop and the gas would come out and fucking fuck that, dude.
Yeah. Fuck Warner von Braun too. I can't believe that he's still a celebrated American scientist that was born in Nazi Germany. Like that shit. Oh man, I literally, before I knew that they'd covered that in Hunters, I was just like, I'm never gonna fucking watch that show because there's no way they're gonna talk about this. And then I've been hearing like, yeah, they definitely talk about it. I'm like, oh my god, someone's actually fucking talking about it. Finally, it only took. Well, he's been dead for 20 years. What is that?
Talking about Warren von Braun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's dude. The show's insane.
The fact that guy got to die of natural causes is a fucking that's not right.
No way.
They say okay. So one thing that I'm not trying to give anything away, but they say that he died and whatnot. But I mean, not to give anything away, but in the show they're like, guy wasn't really dead.
Probably moved to Argentina with all his homeboys, or
they had to go take care of him. They went and took care of that motherfucker, bro. It was cool. Did it actually happen? Who fucking
then
knows?
He was probably dead, and they just did that for the show.
They did that for the show. Like it wasn't like they found out that he was actually alive. But I mean, who the fuck knows? Was he probably alive? Probably. I mean, not probably, but there's a good chance. Like Hitler going to Argentina. Fuck
good
yeah.
chance.
Good chance.
Good chance. Never found his body, so good chance that he didn't die.
And that kind of holds in even in the show, man. And like, it's great show. Highly recommend watching it.
Another guy, Herbert Hoover, the Bushes, Bush Jr. and Bush Sr. both did keynote speaks. Both.
Just think of Bush Jr.'s fucking speech there.
in the photo, his dad is standing right next to him too.
Oh,
when he's doing his lakeside speech. So it's like his dad's like, "Don't you fuck this up now, George." But David Rockefeller has been a keynote speaker there. Henry Kissinger. Just all these warmongering globalist assholes have been there in a position of power, I guess.
The one I saw that was weird to me was Mark Twain. I didn't, that's a weird one, but
Mark Twain wasn't
the
Huckleberry Finn.
Yeah. Which I could see that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I never read his. I remember I was supposed to read his book, and
Neil Armstrong spoke there. Just like,
dang.
Did he really?
Yeah.
I saw aliens.
You guys wouldn't believe what I saw on the dark side of the moon.
It's probably like
there's an alien spaceship.
He's like, now this is gonna come as a surprise, but as some of you already know, it was fake. But
I never walked on the moon, but I did walk on an MTV movie set.
Right.
That's why they made it their logo for the music video television show.
Dude, it's what when they talk about the moon landing and they just because didn't they say one of the things was the moon landing that the flag was like waving or something in the video?
I think
like,
so.
You can't.
The number one thing that debunks the moon landing video, as far as I know, is they recorded it on Super 8 film, which can't survive radiation at the level of the the atmospheric radiation. So re-entering the Earth's atmosphere would have ruined the film.
Well,
so did they land on the moon? Possibly. Is the moon landing video faked? Very likely.
They probably had they definitely they probably had the film.
You can see the moon or the flag on the moon from a powerful enough telescope, I think, right?
I don't know, but I mean, it makes sense.
I mean,
that's-
if you can see planets
people-
like 2 galaxies away.
People
I
always
think.
try and say the moon landing's fake, and I'm like, you know what though? Like, yeah, like something like that. Maybe they just couldn't get, something was a problem, and they just had to improvise.
Those guys must have been really good actors because one thing that happens when you go in space is supposedly you get crippling, like what's it called, atrophy, muscle atrophy,
Because you don't,
because you're not using your muscles to walk around or move around. And so people walk, like the 30-year-old astronauts walk around like they have fucking crippling arthritis at like 30 years old. So either Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin and that guy that no one remembers are the best actors ever, and they walk around like their bones are made out of glass for like 3 months.
Yeah.
Or they really did go to the moon, but the moon landing video is fake.
Yeah.
I don't know. With that being said, the whole thing with the flag waving too, I'm like, if that really happened, and what science, what they say explains that that's not possible, like, yeah, then that.
Well, I saw it was they put what they say is they put a steel rod through the top of it to keep the flag straight out. Because if it was really out, it would just be flopped over.
Yeah, he's talking about
how it looked like it was like
okay.
flowing, like there was like they tried to say, yo, check this out, let's add some wind, let's let our flag wave.
Cousin Lenny
on the
popped
moon.
in.
Yeah,
and was
cousin
like,
Lenny popped
Cousin
in.
Lenny
like-
he's like, look, we got this really rigid flag and it looks great. Let's make it flow, because nothing like a flowing American flag represents America.
No, they probably just had the flag and the fucking ceiling fan up top was just going.
They just
Like,
have
Lenny,
yeah,
we told you to turn that shit
they
off.
have like scientists just like, you guys, like, this isn't real. Like, people are gonna someday they're gonna figure this out, and they're like, no, they won't. Like,
the director at MTV is just like, guys, we're out of film. Like, are we gonna run this or no? And they're like, just fucking run it. Just fucking run it.
We already spent all our budget.
I feel like they
Let's go
almost
get
had
lasagna.
they almost
They'll
had
see the Kid Rock music video. They'll all forget about it.
And for
Yeah,
30
I can't
years.
believe that. Man. It's what's crazy is you'll still talk to people today that are like super about it. That like they
Well,
would
see-
argue, they'd call you crazy if you said that the moon landing video is fake, and it's like, dude, I don't know. I don't know for sure.
Well, I
Does
mean,
it-
not even NASA has, like, all the photos from NASA's website. At the bottom of every photo, it's a disclaimer that this photo was produced by CGI.
Really?
Yeah, every single photo
Oh,
on
really?
NASA's website. Yeah, and it's because film can't go through the fucking radiation belt.
Right. But I mean, they have like, they're sending us fucking satellite, whatever signals of videos, with the rovers. So, I mean, it's like you're
And
almost
that
like,
shit, I believe.
yeah, you're almost like it
Like-
more than likely has to be.
I believe
like,
that
they had
shit,
to have
but
made it,
If
like,
someone takes a Polaroid up there, you're not gonna be able to bring that photo back because it's gonna like it like take a Polaroid picture, put it in an X-ray machine, and then pull it back out. It's gonna be a fucking black picture.
yeah, never
Isn't
knew
it?
that. Science, bitch.
Radiation dissolves fucking.
Well, yeah, that's why they had to use, dark rooms and shit back in the day.
Yeah. Well, that and because once the photo is exposed to light, that's when it like starts.
Light radiation. Right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. Yeah, that's
So
crazy.
you're telling me early photography can travel through space? No, I don't believe that.
No
Not
way.
not a Super 8 film.
Like
But I believe that they went there because
Right.
you can still see the flag there from fucking Earth. But I don't believe the footage.
I feel like that's like a WWE moment, nowadays, that it's like people are like, well, yeah, they proved it wrong, but it's not wrong. It's real. It's not wrong. It happened. That video was real. I watched it. I saw the video. It definitely happened.
I saw John Cena up there.
Yeah,
on
I
the-
saw. I was just about to say I saw the Undertaker and John Cena
At
planting
Buffalo
that
Wild Wings.
flag.
It's like when Stone Cold Steve Austin threw the intercontinental belt that The Rock really wanted. He's like, "You want this belt so bad? Here you go." And he throws it into the Delaware River. It's like, that wasn't the real belt.
Right.
I thought he threw the Rock. I thought the Rock threw Stone Cold Steve Austin into the river.
What?
You ain't seen that one?
No.
Oh well, the Rock throws Stone Cold Steve Austin into the river, and it looks like it looks like a fucking a doll, but
Hey, but that's the WWE. They do everything right. They cover their tracks until they go to Buffalo Wild Wings and get caught. But
yeah. So, like, at what point does the amount of exposure that this like group or secret society, like, is what it really is? It's a secret society. At what point does the exposure turn into like, when do we burn it all down? Like,
when do we stop it?
Yeah, when do the people stop it? Because they had a protest last year outside the Bohemian Grove.
Really?
They had like over 2,000 people there.
Dude, I hope they do that again soon.
Well,
I would take a few days off of work to go to that. Yeah.
It'd be just as as many people as it can take to be able to fight off their people, I guess. I don't know. You gotta uprise somehow.
It's their land. You know, they're gonna do what they want. But like I said, some 12-year-old with a drone's gonna be like you can't shoot the drone down because you have live feed. Like, live feed is a thing now. Whatever gets shown instantly becomes public information.
Like, but my thing is, how do you make people uncomfortable with the fact that their politicians, their bankers, their World Trust, their CEOs are doing this?
They don't believe it. Like, dude, you know how fucking I try to tell my parents all the time. I'm just like, well, you just look at this, and they just they won't even.
They think it's crazy talk.
They won't even try.
Don't entertain the idea of it.
I just tell every time I talk to someone about something, I'm like, look, I'm not here to change your mind, but if you really give a shit, go look this up, look into this, and then you come back to me and tell me if you think I'm full of shit.
Well, yeah. You're just gonna end up in an argument if you come with the approach of, I'm gonna change your mind right here, right now.
Right.
But if you're like, you should check this out.
And
it's like just telling someone to check something out and letting them, because what they're gonna do is they're gonna see what you're talking about, try to combat it, and then they're gonna be like, I can't combat the information that is provided. Like,
right.
Because fuck, we've done like 2 or 3 like screwball episodes where we're just like, this is wacky and like all that shit. But like 90% of the shit that we talk about is just hard hitting. Just, this is what people are saying. This is what people are giving testimony to. Here are the facts. We're going to talk about it, crack a couple jokes to make it light enough to like make you not be like, oh, what the fuck?
And it's like we've done some research too. It's not like we're some fucking dumbass on Facebook that posts one article by one fucking, whoever is putting that article out there, whoever fucking knows, and they're like, this is fucked up.
This is from Fox News. It must be the facts.
And then, but what pisses me off more is,
I can't.
You know what though? At least those people post an article, because what pisses me off more is when people argue with their article. I'm like, at least they put an article out there, Yeah. At least they put something out there. Where's your sources? Mm-hmm. Show your fucking sources if you're gonna try and pretend like you know what you're talking about. Like, you can't just combat it. You're no fucking expert. I can't stand it. I like seeing it. I like looking at the arguments. You know how many times I've typed out a whole paragraph on Facebook in a comment section of people I know, but not as well.
And then you just hold the delete button.
Hold the delete button, because I'm like, dude, I can't even get into this. You know what?
I saw you actually do one earlier this week to some girl that we went to high school with.
But that was because she was on the same page. And if someone's on the same page and she's not out here to say all the shit. She's just here to say, wow, if you need a good watch before you go to bed, check this out. And I was like, bro, straight up, that man is a terrible person. I was like, that guy, like, he's a bad person. I was like, research what he did here and here, and like, you'll find bad shit, but when you're talking about people who are arguing, it's like, the only reason I want to agree on both sides is because I think the other side didn't do enough research. I'm like, you guys, you obviously watched one video, one article, and you think you're an expert on it. You know what I mean? Like, that's fucked up. I never come at the approach telling anyone they're wrong. I just want to go at the approach that, like, you don't
know enough.
You're not an expert. You think you're not an expert.
God, I can't wait till the day of the show grows to where we can have actual experts come on.
Oh man, for sure. That I'd sit here dreamy eyed listening to them just know every single thing. It's hard though. You have so many debates nowadays where people come on a show and they spout out all these facts and stuff, and then later there's so many times I like watching interviews, and then you watch other YouTube videos of how they were spouting out bullshit the whole time. The facts were fake. Yeah. They weren't even real facts. Like they were just saying that. Now, guess what? Everyone believes it because it was on a more popular network that people just instantly, it's fucked up. That's what this is happening. This is never going to become, I think, as big as you want it, because as soon as people start to target a politician or target someone that's in an important role, like before it gets too big, just like with the Vatican fucking little kids, they're going to get moved.
Yeah.
No,
that's what scares me too, is just like someone with, someone that goes to Bohemian Grove has so much more firepower. Like if you go after someone that goes to Bohemian Grove, hey, guess what? Next time you try to take out a bank loan, nope, you're fucking flagged for no reason.
Right. Because you try to fly on a plane.
Yeah,
you're a terrorist.
Because you try to take down a fucking guy that works at Citibank. Like that's the realistic. That's not even far fetched. That's just straight up realistic. What happens to people that take on the Bohemian Club?
And that's where it's like, yeah, like you know what happens. I mean, that shit's so well protected because that's got to be one of the largest gatherings a year where you get the largest gatherings of the most powerful people.
It's the warm up for the Bilderberg meeting.
Bilderberg.
Dude, it's just
the warm up to explain. I guess
the Bilderberg meeting would be a warm up for this. Well, the Bilderberg is like the conspiratorial, like where all the bankers come and try to find out how they're going to fuck the poor for the year.
Yeah.
And it's like people are like, oh, what? You think the Bilderberg meeting is really a thing? You think that's not a fucking thing? When you got dudes dressed up in fucking druid costumes, burning fake bodies, quote unquote fake bodies. Like I'm still on especially after I watched the whole documentary. It's called Candy Girl. You can watch it for free on YouTube. It's got a really slow start, but it builds.
You say that's
with the Fiona Bartlett, or I think that was her name, Fiona Barnett.
Fiona, like from Shrek. Fiona. Yeah, nice.
She is beautiful.
But no.
Okay. She was an ogre, dude. I don't want to ruin the ending for you, but she actually was an ogre.
But it's just like, after hearing what she says about it, and no one's ever felt the need to refute what she said, as far as I know. And it's just like, what the fuck? Like,
I think
these people run finance and
it's kind of weird that nobody's like, well, she's not wrong, but we're not going to do anything about it.
Are they? But I mean, think about this. I feel like the biggest step we could have taken, as far as we go, as like a country learning about the dark secrets, would be, I feel like Jeffrey Epstein put such a big light on it that people were like, oh my God, well, they weren't thinking they're politicians. They weren't thinking, all these other people, but they were like, man, this guy was running child sex rings. Like, Yeah.
And he ran an international sex ring.
Right.
And this girl was sex trafficked internationally to Bohemian Grove. So at what extent do we know that Jeffrey Epstein wasn't in Bohemian Club?
For sure.
Like you think it's a fucking coincidence that he was executed in his fucking jail cell under suicide watch when both the guards took a break, and then both the guards don't face charges of negligence, and they on their maybe $50,000 a year salary both make $135,000 bail.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Like, you think I'm the crazy one for thinking there's something weird about that? That's what I want to tell people all the time. Like, you think I'm fucking crazy? You're the one believing fucking MSNBC saying, yeah, Epstein hung himself with his t-shirt. It's like, what?
That'd be harder.
How bad at taking the t-shirt off do you have to be to fucking hang yourself? Like, what do you mean?
You could rip it in half.
He just fucking is trying to take it off, gets it stuck over his face, and it grabs the bed frame, the bunk bed, and he just falls down and hangs himself.
And then the medical examiner is like, "Oh no, he didn't hang himself. He was definitely strangled." And the mainstream media is like, "No, that medical examiner was wrong. I'm a newscaster and I know more about the fucking human body than he does." It's like, bitch, this is the same guy that did the autopsy of fucking God, who was it? RFK?
Oh no, JFK.
JFK. Well, I don't trust that guy.
Not RFK is still kicking. What do you?
No, RFK Jr. is kicking.
Oh, duh. Yeah. Yep. Wait, so he was.
We did a whole episode.
I know,
on
bro.
RFK.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you talking about?
My memory has never failed to just be absolutely terrible. But
Also, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I totally missed the word of the day earlier.
did we actually? Well, no. Tell it. So let's hint it. Where were we? Where
Oh man,
where were we at?
It was like way at the beginning. I was like, it's too early for that.
No.
I thought I was gonna catch it later, but I don't think I caught it like 3 times.
We want a hint. I don't want to.
So
don't
if
give
I
it to
say
us. We
right
need to
now-
get this. Yeah, we need to get this right now. We need some hints. Because I'm pretty sure we already said
we've said it a million fucking
pretty sure we
times.
already said
Boobies.
George Clooney fucking some other guy.
No, we've
in
literally all 3 of us probably said it like at least 5 times. So
damn it.
I hope I get flamed for missing this. But all right. So what do you call Fox News and CNN?
Fake news.
Well,
Mainstream media.
yeah.
Oh my
Okay, so
god.
ready to assist you.
It's just media. I missed it so many times.
You make me.
I can't believe
wanna
we
take a
got
shot,
it.
dude.
I can't believe we did it, Michael.
Darn, guys. We are so good.
All right, that's embarrassing. Because Dylan said in the first like 5 minutes. And so I was like, it's way too early. I literally I was like, I'm gonna hold off until the next one. I'll get called out for it. And then I forgot that someone had already
These are
said it.
not good. Not good to go.
No, it's fine. There's alcohol in it.
Fuck it.
Yeah, I can't believe I dropped the ball. Well, I didn't drop the ball. I deliberately did it. I was like, it's way too early. Mike just got here. He's been here for like 10 minutes. There's no point in doing a shot of whiskey right now.
I had a fucking beer before I came over though, so.
I don't know. I'll do better next week. It'd be so much easier if there was a producer.
What? Don't.
I think maybe
Guys,
we
need
should.
a producer.
Should we? I feel like we all need. Oh, never mind. That would not work. I'm not even going to explain what I just thought of. Cheers, boys.
We'll explain it off camera.
Yeah. Cheers.
Not bad, not bad.
Easiest shot I'll ever take in my life.
Not good.
So do you guys have a point that you think that we burn it all down? Because we have the Epstein story that was covered up by mainstream media for 3 years before it came out.
Mm-hmm.
I think there needs to be, in a sense, in a weird, I don't know how this would work, and this is just me spouting ideas. I don't know how it all works, but you know, like in companies, you have like unions and shit like that. Like it's to protect the workers. Like,
Yeah, the media is the union for fucking elected officials, bro.
Yep.
but it's like we need an actual like fucking a union against our government because they've obviously gotten too much power, you know, like
transparency is the only thing you can do. I feel like, you know, if you don't have transparency in your fucking government, then there's no way you can believe in them.
like we were talking that we were watching that interview with on MSNBC when what's her fuck is interviewing Joe Biden, talking about how, well, what about if they were to investigate your files over in Illinois or whatever? It's like
Delaware.
You should not, like, you're in a position of government. You should be, it should totally be, everything of your files should be
Accessible.
Like no way should you be able to even argue that, well, her name wouldn't even show up And
she's like, well, what if it does?
Yeah,
And
what
he's
if
like, well, it won't.
Yeah.
And that's like literally the extent of the fucking
Right,
interview.
exactly.
Are you gonna someone who's allegedly a sex offender is gonna tell you the truth? Like and we can't do anything about it.
See, that's like fucking trusting Ted Bundy be like, I didn't drill holes in her head.
Yeah, I didn't.
I didn't drill holes in that
Yeah.
bitch's head. She's crazy.
You thought I went back and fucked her a second time? Are you crazy? Are you mental? Like, you have the fact that I did it, once, but you think I did it again? Are you high?
It's like Richard Ramirez being like, I shot her, but I didn't fuck her.
Right. Well, I mean, yeah.
How fucking dishonest of a person can you pick other than a fucking lifelong politician that almost got thrown out of college?
Right.
Yeah, little kids like his leg hair.
No, it's because of plagiarism. Plagiarism almost got him thrown out of college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you say was his thesis paper, 32 out of 33 pages were plagiarized by someone else's speech?
And it was like 32 out of 30 something. Or maybe 42, 32 out of 42 or some. It was an oddly amount of pages not written by Joe Biden in his thesis paper.
I was pretty good at copy and pasting in high school too.
God, I couldn't. I was always
worried about it.
See, I would copy and paste and then rewrite the words to make them.
Same. I did that, but even then I was so lazy that I wanted it to be good work. I didn't want to put shitty work out, but then it came down to it and I just didn't do it. So I mean, I was like, man, I wish I could go back and really just write some. I was afraid of sounding like a dumbass, it's hard.
Now we air ourselves sounding like dumbasses.
Yeah, exactly. I wish my teachers could hear me now.
Oh, jeez.
I hope they do. I hope they hear us and be
someday I'd like to see an old teacher just come up to me and be like, what do you do now? And I'd be like, well, I do a podcast. I get high and I get drunk. And I,
talk about shit.
And they'd be like,
talk about current events.
Could you imagine, what a teacher would probably say to you? Like if it was like me, like how bad I did in high school, and they literally, I told them that and how we're growing and shit, and they'd probably be like, wow, good for you.
Yeah, I ran into my guidance counselor from high school at the pool last summer. And it was Tuesday, and it was before a softball game, so I had the day off. And she's like, what do you do now? And I was like, oh, well, I host a podcast, and we talk about, an array of things. She's like, oh, what is it? Could I listen to it? I was like, you probably shouldn't listen to it.
I know.
I was like, you probably shouldn't.
There's some people I will not tell. I know my cousin has asked me a couple times. She's like, oh yeah, I've been meaning to listen to that. What'd you say it was again? And I was like, oh yeah, I don't know. Like I'll just I don't know.
I forgot the name of the podcast that I co-host.
I don't know if it's the best idea. Shit, I could just, oh man.
She'd love it.
I just like, dude, organic growth over fucking telling people to listen to it. That's the way I feel. It will work best.
A little bit of both.
I just don't
I recommend it to people that I feel like are open to shit.
Yeah, oh yeah,
right. I just
if I know someone's like got like them concrete values and like doesn't like to question shit, I'm like, it's not the show for you.
Even people who just are like, I think people when they're like, oh, you have a podcast, like, wow, that's really interesting. I bet I'm going to be really interested in your podcast because I know you, and I just want to be like, no. You probably don't, because you probably don't know 95% of the topics we're talking about, if even that.
You know the side of me that's talking to you right now, but you don't know what we're talking about on our podcast. Like we talk about fucking murderers and rapists, and
that's on our fun days.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom tries to ask me if she can watch it, and it's just like a no-go, She doesn't see the side of me.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think my girlfriend watches, and that's cool. That's I'm cool with that.
You think?
And no one else.
Or
Well, I know because she's only one who's commented on the video is my girlfriend. Thanks to our number one commenter on the podcast.
You ever seen Scott Pilgrim vs. the World?
Yes.
She's your little Asian girl in that video.
Emma she was digging the video or the movie, but we never finished it, and I was really sad because dude, it's such a weird and good movie.
I like that
for
one.
Sure.
Were you guys streaming it or something, or
what?
watching it on like Netflix?
Yeah, we were watching it somewhere and we just had to, like go to bed. But I think it started off really stupid and she was I don't think
Yeah,
she
it's
was
super
feeling it.
wacky
Oh, yeah.
at the
But
beginning.
then
Super
then
slow.
you get in
Same
there.
with Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist, bro. That movie is so hard to get into.
That's probably
I've
why I
never seen
did.
it, yeah.
Nick and Nora, he like it literally starts off with Michael Cera. He's in a band again. He's like, "Hey Sarah, it's me, Nick. You broke up with me on my birthday." Just like,
Been there.
it's just one of those movies that's just like not.
So what? I'm curious now because after you talked about, did you say it was last year that we had the 2,000 protesters outside of the
I
Bohemian
believe it
Grove?
was last year, yeah.
Or at least do you know if they've done that maybe multiple years, or is this maybe the first year that they've done that?
To what I know of, this was the only time, or this is the only time that I know that they have. And it was a RT article or RT, not article. It was RT, like on their main show, like broadcast.
Right.
And like the guys, like there's a dude there. He's like, "Do you know this is where the atom bomb was invented?" And like all this shit. People were like, "I heard that they're hunting kids in there," and like all these like sound bites and stuff. I'm just like, yeah, there's people that can attest to everything you just said.
Right.
It's like,
Damn.
I think it's
like
crazy.
somewhat credible people.
If that happened though, like literally within the last couple years, it gives me so much hope that people are spreading information.
That's where I'm saying, like,
Yeah.
at what point do we think, like in this room, in the studio, at what point do we think we're gonna hit the burn it all down level? Because dude, this
10
coronavirus,
years.
I guess it's not hitting here, like it's hitting here hard, but it's not hitting here the same way it's hitting other places.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, have you seen the weird numbers from New York?
Well, yeah, but they're also doing like they're like doing like this guy died of old age,
Yeah, exactly.
like kind of like they're skewing the numbers.
So they can get money. Oh yeah. But New
It's-
York, like, dude, New York is like 20,000 more deaths than anybody else.
Yeah, well, on
Or-
top of that, just the city itself, the population, how condensed.
Right.
Because I've been to New York City multiple times.
Right.
It doesn't surprise me that the coronavirus spreads there more than anywhere. But at the same time, the way that they report the deaths are super suspect. Like,
Right.
it's,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
so weird. It's just like, yeah, this guy had double pneumonia, and that's like the number one symptom of coronavirus is having pneumonia on both lungs.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I know, I'm not a fucking medical expert, but I've been paying enough attention to this as I have to. I've been doing podcast shit and working my job 40 hours a week and then 30 hours a week. So it's just like,
I still haven't met anyone that's had the coronavirus.
No,
you
yeah.
know?
I have.
Have you?
Yep, my Chris, his girlfriend's sister works at Tyson's, and she has some Tyson's.
oh, I thought you were about to be like, yeah, I've been exposed. I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
Mateo will not be cool with this.
yeah, but yeah, I don't know when we get to a level of how many years? What do we think are the? I want to know how many years? Like you said, the burn it down stage point of
Like in
When do
Chile and shit like that. Like that fucking Chilean protest where they're throwing
We
fucking
got it too
burning
easy here,
rocks.
bro. We got it too easy
that
here.
fucking dude, that video of them playing Goro's theme on the saxophone. Oh my god, I want that to be in fucking downtown CF all day.
what are they?
every
What
day.
were they doing?
Have you never seen that?
Say again.
They're
What
playing
are
on the
the-
saxophone during
the-
the riot.
Saxophone. I sent it I put it in the Discord
I'm pretty
one
sure
day.
you've seen it.
You've seen it. I'll show it to you guys.
Yeah,
right
that sounds
after this.
actually very insane.
Yeah, it's just JoJo's Bizarre Adventure during a fucking protest.
How many years but to where we actually fucking
me?
like tear this down? I want to hear Michael's first. Michael, what do you
5
think?
to
How many
10.
years? 5? Nope, that's
5 to
2.
10.
That's 2.
That's way too long.
You need a specific. Give me I want one number. You get a single number of years.
What's today's date?
Today's date is 5/12/2020.
All right, I'm gonna do 5/29/2025.
Okay,
Is that specific?
5 years. Yeah, AJ, what you think?
Five.
I'm saying
5 years and 20 some odd days.
Yeah, 5 years, 27 days. All right. So mine, dude. If shit isn't like if we're not full on either rebelling or putting people in power that are fighting the current system, mine's 2 years.
I was gonna say about like 3 years. I was like, dude,
Two to 3 years.
If they're having a riot with as many people that are in Bohemian Grove, outside protesting, and you think if they're gonna do
well,
that,
if that's the case, in 3 years and 2 months.
Well, see, I just feel like at the end of Trump's next presidency, because I feel like he's gonna get president again. At the end of Trump's
no doubt.
At the end of Trump's next presidency, and was that 5 years?
how do we have two people running for
wins.
president?
If he wins.
Sex offenders, but both their people running for president are both
both accused sex offenders. Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Like, how? It does not.
Both of them probably hang out in fucking California redwoods in July.
Yeah. It makes no fucking sense. I mean, it does make sense, but the fact that we're letting...
You know who else was there? Fucking Barack Obama. You know who else was there? Fucking George Bush. Every president that's ever fucking been elected since 1880 has been there. It's fucking insane.
It wasn't. I don't think it was since 1880. They said that every president's like not until later on. Like they said the
1940s.
Probably after FDR, because FDR wouldn't have shown up.
Right.
Probably not a lot of wheelchair access.
Right. But yeah, they said that.
Get over the branch.
I feel like isn't that a crazy thing to think about? How much we talk about how we you guys have said it before, like how little you've said it a lot, like how little our president does. If our president, before that time, and this is back in the day when I feel like a president was supposed to be a bigger deal. Like today, it's not a big deal. It's WWE. But back then, if our president wasn't, they weren't inviting the presidents to Bohemian Grove, what does that say about what our president actually does and holds power to? It means that they were shit. They weren't cool enough.
Yeah.
They were like, you're just a stage actor, and you think we're gonna let you into our fucking club? You make $0. You've been a fucking...
Well, he makes more.
So wait, I just did the math in my head. So 31 years after San Francisco was founded, because that was founded in 1849, right?
I don't know.
The 49ers.
It's probably why they have so many.
Like that's like the famous thing. Like Colorado is the 49ers, all that shit.
Okay.
So
do you think that's why they have all that land then?
31 years after fucking that area of the world was developed, they were doing shit like this. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's why they have so much land, right? Because it was so underdeveloped that they were like, bro, we just snagged, like, you're not going to believe this, 2,700 acres. What the fuck?
Louisiana Purchase all over.
Man. And what do they do with it? They don't make money off of it, right? Like, I mean, I guess they maybe do because it's a club, so people are probably paying into it. But okay, so this is what they said. They said for your access fee, and this is just going off of what I've read, is that you pay about $25,000 a person. $25,000 a person is what I read that you're usually going to pay to get into the club. I don't know if that's yearly. I don't know if that's like a one-time fee.
Yearly thing.
But to them, that ain't shit. I mean, that pays for all the land. That pays for all the upkeep, all the other shit,
So it took them 11 years from when they completed the Transcontinental Railroad to fucking start this weird ass club where people from DC were going to California to fuck kids.
Which is
that's how long of a train ride.
How long you said the 40 and 49? So that means in that little of a time that I said,
that's when they started.
It all got started by some famous actor who fucking was like, bro, like let's.
Well, okay, so at what point is it from like famous actor, comparatively like H.P. Lovecraft kind of thing,
Is that the dude that had that pet bird?
Yeah.
I was trying. I will not say his name right now, but I was trying to figure out who the fuck had that bird.
Oh yeah,
the other day, and
yeah.
I almost texted you. But
It was
at like,
man.
it was at like 3 or 4
You guys
in the
can't say it,
morning.
dude. The bird's name was fucked up. What was it? No one has shame. I'll say it. Whisper it in my ear, and I'll say it. A grandmother?
No, I'm not.
I was like, what the fuck?
I'm not gonna fucking say it, bro.
It's just
Wasn't it
one
like
of the- one of the-
donkey
one of those-
fucker, child
No,
molester,
it
something?
was nigga faggot, but you know,
I mean, hey, you know, like
if that's his fucking,
he called his bird.
I think it was his cat, but
Yeah.
Yeah, same difference. But I can't remember who I was trying to. Dylan, I think Dylan was talking with me. It was like me, Dylan, Sam, and someone else.
I want to re-say
Must
but I just
have-
don't.
Must have been one of his
You have
brothers.
so much strength, brother.
Must have been one of his brothers. And I was just like, I can't remember who the fuck the guy's name is. And I went to text you. I looked at my phone. I was like, holy shit, it's 4:30 in the morning.
this kid.
I was like, there's no way I'm gonna text Michael at 4:30 in the morning.
Right.
Either he's gonna text me back right away and be like, just woke up, what's up? Or why the fuck did you text me? I was asleep.
Bro, I can't hear shit when I'm asleep. So.
There's two options here. So
Bro,
it literally took 11 years for them. Well, I mean, we'll say 13 years to start the club that they. Well, because they said in 1880 they started the cremation of care. So in 1880, so 11 years.
Yeah, like it didn't start off as that whole. That's where I'm confused.
That's when they
is
nailed
like,
the golden spike.
I'm like, when did it turn into? Because if you look it up, it says, you know, it was for some actor, can't remember. Like in those couple of years, when did it turn into this fucking like
pagan festival.
Yeah, like when did they fucking
so
start?
weird.
I bet
It's
you the
so-
same
it's so
time the
weird.
fucking
All these-
Masons got into it.
All these people. Well, yeah, even the Masons. It's the Masons is weird too because it's like that's almost pagan in itself.
And why do the pagans have like? Isn't that weird to think that like? Okay, so they started
That's like
this.
Viking shit.
Right.
Like, that's
Started
what
this-
pagans are like Viking shit.
They
see the
started this
fucking
pagan
Egyptian
shit.
shit.
They started this pagan shit, but to think that literally, like, you have the most powerful people in the world coming to this thing that are all like, dude, that just where the fuck did that come from?
Yeah,
How the fuck, like, where the fuck, like,
I get like left wing politicians doing pagan shit,
But this is
but like
conservative.
we're talking right wing politicians who are in God we trust. Don't take God's name off the dollar bill. All this shit,
right.
like, and then you go and sacrifice someone to another god. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like,
Oh, yeah.
Well, you hear it.
we're also
Literally.
talking about the same people that sacrificed fucking what 3,045 people on 9/11
Right.
because Dick Cheney didn't give a stand down order and George Bush was fucking reading coloring books to kids. Like books with one word on a fucking page.
I thought he was attempting to color them in, and he was
He might have
getting outside the
Where's my
line.
coloring lesson with the president of the United States?
Well,
but
don't
it's-
go outside the lines like me.
It's just like what the fuck?
Yeah, dude.
I don't, dude. Fuck.
It's just wonky as fuck. I don't understand.
Just the world is such a weird place. I don't get it.
don't want to be here. Take
Yeah,
me to a higher
it's
plane,
almost
baby.
like- Dude, I wish I was born in like the 50s. So I was not old enough to fight in, I guess, I wish I was born in the 60s. So I was not old enough to fight in Vietnam, but I didn't have to live through this shit.
So yeah, without knowing, you know, the internet is a good thing, but it's also a bad thing.
It's
you know?
like, how the fuck did people think they were going to get away with the shit that they thought they were going to get away with? You know, if that makes sense.
It makes. Sorry, I missed.
I mean,
you.
like at
Michael
the
said
time
that.
of now.
Michael said that being alive right now, it makes it hard because we have the internet. So we're able to uncover all this bullshit that people thought they basically what me and him were saying was people are not able to get away with all the bullshit that they thought they were going to be able to.
Yeah. The 12, like, yeah, it's like the 12-year-old flying a drone over top and could easily just find out, you know,
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Incarcerate a fucking 12?
I mean,
they'd probably just hunt him down.
I mean, how would you even know? What are they thinking? Are they're probably not even like, why would you in nowadays of age, why would you do that? Because you have the possibility of people doing that shit. Your privacy is, you do not have as much privacy as you do
You also
back
gotta
in the
ask
day.
if you're if a 12-year-old's drone can go 250 acres out.
Dude, drones can go fucking so far.
Well, they talk about like, or not they, like people that have been at Bohemian Grove that have come out and talked about it. They talk about the buildings being similar to those on Epstein's islands.
So Epstein was definitely there.
Probably.
Epstein
He probably
was
built the
definitely
bitch.
there.
Who's the
Yeah.
architect?
Epstein was probably trying to have his own
Dude, can
like
you imagine how many
ceremony.
fucking children that he provided to that fucking place?
Oh man,
Probably, dude. Epstein. My thought is he was probably trying to reenact, Bohemian Grove, and he accidentally, when they were lighting the shit on fire, accidentally burned his house down, and it started. That's why his whole island burned down.
See,
The thing with Epstein is now that he's dead, like he's officially dead, like he may or may not be dead, but he's officially
officially.
known as dead. His like anything that he has given evidence to can be unredacted, but it's not. And that's fucking insane. The fact that the evidence that he's given to is not unredacted at this point. It's been almost a year, right?
yeah.
It's been like what, 8 months?
Less than a year.
8
yeah.
months. The fact that his court documents and shit like that has not been released unredacted. They can't even file a Freedom of Information Act against it.
That's why it's time to burn it down.
Is he
It's
fucking
time
dead?
to burn it all down.
Is he fucking dead if you can't get the Freedom of Information Act unredacted? Is he really dead? Like that's the question people need to ask about shit like that.
It's time to burn it down. In 3 years,
It's getting real fucking close. The time to burn it the fuck down.
Who set the world on
Well,
fire?
think about people, like you think about all these people that, don't want to agree with it. But I think the younger generation with a more clear mind that hasn't been aged in the ideas that you got to listen to our news media. Like that's why we have fucking 2,000 people protesting outside of it, because people are going to be.
But they're all people our age, though.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's the good thing. Like, it's not going to take long for people's heads. Like, who's going to be talking to the younger generation? It's not going to be the old people in the media teaching these kids. They're not going to listen to them. They're going to listen to their friends who have talked to the people who are like, bro, you want to hear some fucked up shit that'll blow your mind? And, I think it's going to take off. There's I don't see it any other way. I mean, especially that if that really was the first time that a protest outside of Bohemian Grove actually happened, it makes me feel way better that this shit's about to go down.
Yeah, well, it's just like
they want to do pitchforks and fucking torches and riots. I'm down. We've been looking for a good riot to go to forever, dude. I'll show up.
Especially you and I have.
Yeah, I will.
Me and Dylan have been talking about this for years.
a year straight up. Going finding the next big protest. I am down. I will. Yeah.
Ever since I showed Dylan the Battle of Berkeley video, which was like from what fucking 2 years ago, but we watched it a year ago. Dude, we've been down. We have a LARP plan and everything.
Yeah, I mean, but this I think it's like this time
it's gonna be like real.
This time it's real. We'll be on the same side and we'll be the first motherfuckers to charge at the gates.
Hey Dylan, does your mom still have that big old fucking camera? Because I wanna film you guys using that one.
The VHS camera.
The old VHS. Fuck yes.
Dude, that'd be ballin'.
That's how I would never want to film something on a good
Blockbuster.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right, boys. Well, about ready to wrap this up.
Yeah, we'll talk about this. If shit's gonna go the way we think it's gonna go, we'll be talking
hit Bohemian Grove
in the next like 3 years. Because we'll still be here in like 3 years for sure. Unless we die from the Rona, but who knows?
But yeah, like there's a bunch of shit that I wanted to do this week that just can't, like the fucking they just redacted or not redacted. They just released like what the fuck is his name? Adam Schiff's all his interviews.
Oh yeah.
Basically showing that he's been lying on the news for the last 3 years and all
Mm-hmm.
this shit. But yeah, we'll
dive
we
into
gotta
We'll
get
that.
definitely
stuff
dive
next
into
week,
that.
man.
Thank you for everyone who tuned in.
Yeah.
Very happy. Very glad you guys were here.
This is
On a
this
Tuesday. This isn't our normal day, and it's the first time we're back on YouTube Live. Am I right?
Yeah,
Feels very good to still have the people joining us.
first live show in like
Oh,
a
yeah.
month and a half,
Yes.
and we love you all for it. But yeah, if you're not checking us out on the live show, check us out next week. Hopefully Monday around 6 o'clock. That's our usual time frame. But you know, we got some working boys. But check us out on Twitter, and that I will tell you exactly when we're going to be live on Twitter at WRK Pod. Check out our Instagram. I'm going to post a picture of the new setup in the studio in the next couple days once I finish getting it put together. We did a little rough edit today. And yeah, that's WRK Podcast on Twitter, or on Instagram, sorry. But yeah, and if you need any links to anything, WRKpodcast.com. And as always, hit up our Patreon page. Be like McCheese. Be like Spum.
Be like McCheese. And
Be like
Spum.
be like Courtney, dude. Just fucking hit up that Patreon page, patreon.com/WRKpod. Help support the show. We need to buy Michael an office chair.
Yeah. Oh, poor motherfucker.
But yeah, we'll be seeing you guys live next week.
Right. With the juicy topic.
Juiciest of topics.
Juicy topic as always.
And yeah, and you know what? I'm gonna be doing a serial killer again soon. So yeah,
Yeah.
all the favorites,
that
all the
needs to-
classics.
That needs to happen ASAP. Serial killer again. Fucking my favorite.
Yeah, we love you all. Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. Leave some comments if you're watching on YouTube. Hit that fucking like button. But yeah, we'll catch you next week.